Before we get started, I just want to remind you to be sure to sign up for the 2020 Summer Reading Program. Imagine your story. Our reading program is provided each year to help deter summer learning loss for students and to foster the lifelong love for reading. We've got challenges for everyone in the family. You can read to win prizes. Woo! This year our program is going all digital. Download the Beanstack app on your mobile device or click Virtual Summer Reading Program link on our homepage to register. Thank you! Hi guys, my name is Kirby and this is Imagine Your Own Story Graphic Novel Edition. So today what we are going to be doing is learning about a graphic novel, what it is, the parts of it, and then learning how to put together our own graphic novel. Let's get down to business. What is a graphic novel? And people have many definitions for graphic novels: comic strips, comic books, graphic novels, other mediums of art. They're all going to be the same thing in this, and essentially what graphic novels are images used in a sequence to tell a story. What that means is there's different images put together in an order, and that goes to tell a story. Some graphic novels have words included, some just have art. Graphic novels are very experimental. There's tons of different art styles, there's tons of different means to make a graphic novel. Graphic novels, like prose, which is regular books, can be in any genre. There's nothing holding you back. You can make whatever kind of story you would like. We are just going to go over the basics today, and I will have some examples from a few books you may and may not have read from our library. Let's get down to business with the parts of a graphic novel. And like I said, graphic novels can be very experimental, so they might not follow all of these parts, but for the most part, this is the standard that most graphic novels have. Major parts of a graphic novel, and these first three are the most important. Panels, those are the little squares that you see in most graphic novels. Speech bubbles, those are the bubbles that you can see people talking. Thought bubbles, those are the bubbles where you see what people are thinking. The difference between speech bubbles and thought bubbles tend to be the tails. So thought bubbles tend to have 3 circles into the big bubble, and speech bubbles tend to have a little arrow to who they're talking. Then there's the gutter, that's the space in between the panels. Narration, so that's just general talking, there's no one actually saying it, similar to a prose book. Sound effects, some people call these onomatopoeias, so boom, pow, bang, bam. Motion lines, that's so you can see how someone's running fast or someone's struggling or the wind's blowing. And then background colors. So some artists choose to use colors in their graphic novels and some don't. Some can be black and white, some can be very vibrant. That is all dependent on the art style and the author or illustrator. Another thing to mention is that graphic novels can be made by 2 people. So someone can write the story, and if they don't think they're good enough at drawing or whatever, they can have someone else do it. Likewise, if somebody really loves drawing but they don't think their story's that great, they can have someone else make up a story, or they found a story that they really love and they want to draw it. So if that goes for you and you aren't too comfortable with your drawing skills or your writing skills, you can find a friend and they can help you and you can make your graphic novels together. I drew mine, well, I wrote mine and then I drew a basic outline and idea sheet for it, and then I had one of my friends draw the ending one because I'm not the greatest at drawing. So keep that in mind. If you want somebody else to help you, that's totally okay and very normal. I have a few different works that we're going to talk about some of these different parts of the graphic novels so that you can really get the feel for what I mean. First graphic novel example I'm using is from Kai's Sweet Home by Kanami Kantana. This is in our library, so you might have seen it before. So, when I talk about sound effects, all of these effects here, this chomp, pounce, those are sound effects. You can see motion lines in these when she's playing. There's some more motion lines in this one. The panels, which are these little squares, are not necessarily straight and even all the time. The differences in the panel sizes kind of tell you what's most important or how long that panel should be compared to the other one. So this is a little longer, and then these are really short, just little clips. And then you come down here and you can see there's a bigger panel in the background behind these two panels, kind of giving you an idea of what's happening overall, whereas these are very close up. Konami Kanata did some really interesting things with her panel shapes and sizes, like this one. Another example that might be a little different because this one doesn't use panels in the way that we think of them with a clear frame is Invisible Emmy by Terry Libson. You can read, you can clearly navigate where this is, but there's no panels in the ways that we are used to where there's a big square outline around the whole thing and you're navigating. You can see here that this is a speech bubble and it's coming from the TV. You can see where the tail points this way, and then she is having a thought bubble because of the different dots going to her. And then underneath this is narration. So no one's saying this explicitly. None of the characters are. It's just information for you. On this side, we have some sound effects. The har 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 from this guy telling a joke. And then we have some motion lines from this guy picking his nose and these people talking. These are all common parts of a graphic novel. This is Anne of Green Gables. It's adapted by Maria Marsden and illustrated by Brenna Tumler. So this is one of the ones where somebody wrote the story and then another person drew it. I wanted to show you this one because this is a whole page panel, which is really nice. Sometimes some artists will do this because it shows a lot of artwork and creativity, and it's nice, and you get to know that this is important because this is a whole panel. They're taking up a whole page for this one bit in time. Oh, I haven't mentioned before, these are the gutters. That's the space between the panel, this white space. And then you can also see perspective on some of these panels as well. Some different panel perspectives are close-up, extreme close-up, long shot images that show objects fully from top to bottom, extreme long shot, and then reverse images. So that means they flip-flop sides from panel to the next. So in this one, this is a big long shot panel. This is pretty far away. You can see all the way up to the tree line. This is a long shot panel. And then you can see this one's very close up. That might be considered an extreme close up in this. Sometimes it's closer. But you can see that there's always varying ranges for your panels. They don't all have to be the same perspective. They don't have to be from the same point away. Alright, this is the last one that we're going to go over with some explanations of the parts of a panel. This is El Defo by C.C. Bell. So you can see that this darker bit, those are narrations. This is a thought bubble because you can see the three, and then this is a speech bubble because there's a tail. There's gutters in between all of these, even though the narration runs through. Alright, so we've learned about the basic parts of a graphic novel. Now we are going to get started making our own. For this, you will want some paper for sure. You might want a lined notebook to make your outline, or you can use your computer to type it up. You will want a pencil, an eraser, a nice eraser that works to get away all your pencil marks. And you'll probably want to keep copying panels. You'll see this a little later. So you can do that by hand, or you can do that with a copy machine or a printer. So we are going to get started on the steps to making a graphic novel. I'm going to explain them all the way down, and then we'll do somewhat of an example. Steps to making a graphic novel. Step number 1, come up with your story. Who are your characters? What are they doing? And then you need to create an outline. The second step is to make your panel. You need to use pencil that you can erase, not ink or color. You can do that later. Make multiple copies in case you mess up. 1 action or emotion per panel. This is very important. You don't want to make a panel that says, I'm so sad, and then the next panel have a picture of the person being sad, because that's saying the exact same thing. You want every panel to be saying a different action or a different emotion. All right, so thus far we've talked about you will need to create your story, come up with your characters, what they're doing, create an outline. The outline is very important. Then you're going to make your panels. You want to use pencil. You don't want to repeat words with pictures. And you want to use fewer panels per page for faster action sequences. Generally, you want to do 4 to 6 panels per page. All right, bubbles. Thought bubbles and speech bubbles need different tails. So, those are all of the basics. We are going to talk about an outline. So I made an outline for a very small 6-page graphic novel. When you're doing an outline, you want to write your story first. You want to know what will happen. Does the scene use words or art? Does it show actions? Where does the scene take place? You want to rate the level of excitement potentially, because you want the most exciting panels that you think to really stand out. So they may have a different panel frame, they may be bigger. And then you want to start sketching your panels on your paper in pencil. So I will go over my graphic novel outline really quick. We're not going to go over the whole thing, but you can see what we did for it. So I just have a simple graphic novel outline. I made a title, an interesting encounter, and then I decided that the background was going to be, or the setting was going to be at a park. So page 1, I want you to separate your pages, because once you write what's happening, these are your panels. So I have 5 panels in my first page. And the first panel is just a wide expanse of the park. Birds chirping, trees, etc. 2 is going to be a close-up of a person walking in the park. 3, I made little brackets. You want to hear a meow from the sky. So that's going to be a noise, a sound effect. 4, it's a person looking up, thinking. So this is going to be a thought bubble. What was that? 5, a meow, but up closer. Page 2 of my graphic novel is a cat stuck in a tree, scared, and then there's going to be feet running. You want motion marks to see them going fast. I'll come get you, kitty, in a speech bubble, or just the entire panel. You don't necessarily have to make it a speech bubble if that's the one thing you want in that panel. And then the person starts climbing a tree, grunting noises, a long panel of the whole tree with the person getting closer to reaching the cat. Page 3, person on the branch with the cat. Come here, kitty, kitty. Cat moving on branch towards the person, and then person grabbing cat. Next up, it's going to be feet jumping with a whoosh motion, a thunk, feet landing on the ground, and then page 4. It's going to be a whole person holding the cat. There you go, kitty, you're safe. Hands setting the cat on the ground, petting the cat. You'll get a nice purr. Cat nuzzling the person's leg with the meow. Cat walking away. Cat far away with a bye kitty. Page 5 is a whole sheet, full page, person waving with a smile on their face. And page 6 is a thanks for reading. So this is my basic outline. It's 6 pages. You can have yours be as long as short as you want. I tried to stick close to the 4 to 6 panels per page. Sometimes you have a little more, and that's okay. And sometimes you have a little less, like the last page where it's just one full sheet. So, getting into it, after you write your outline, you're going to make your panels. My first page had a wide expanse of the park first, so I wanted that to be big. So this is what I came up for my page 1 practice. A big panel to show the whole expanse of the park, and then a closer up one of the person walking the park, a meow from the sky, a person looking up thinking, what was that? And then a meow closer up. So I have 5 panels on this page, and you can do fun shaped panels. They don't have to necessarily look like this, and they can all be the same size if you want. It just depends on what you're looking for. So I'm going to break down what I did for each page. So the first thing you do is you're going to create your panels. Then you're going to want to make copies of those panels so that you keep going, because if you screw up, you don't really want to only have this one. You might change your mind on some of your ideas. So first up, panels. Second up, you're going to write in your panels just the general overview of what you want. So I wrote wide expanse of the park, close up of person walking in park, meow, person looking up, what was that, and then another meow. So once I'm here, I made a rough outline of what I want my drawing to be. And this is what I got. So this is just a rough idea of what you want. If you're really good at drawing, you can make yours full out, but this is an idea, a way to do steps to help you remember what you want for each panel. So then after that, my friend Becky made my panels for me, and she's a better drawer than I am, so they look nice. So this is the panel she came up with. Keep in mind, this is in pencil still. We decided together that we like what it looks like. So then after you're done, you can make a copy of this and ink it or color it how you want. We did not do color yet. You can color yours how you like if you choose to do color. If you choose not to, that's totally fine. Black and white is very cool too. And this is what we came up with. We then drew it with ink. But you want to wait to do that until the end in case you mess up or you decide you want something different. So that is how you're going to go through with all of your pages. So we looked at our page 1 panels in pretty good detail. Right now I'm just going to flip through all my other pages real quick, and then I'll show you the finished copy. So page 2, I made the panels based on how many I needed. For this one I needed 6, and I needed them to be a little different shapes and sizes based on my story. So then I wrote out what was in them, did a rough sketch, my friend did a rough sketch, and then she did an inked copy. For page 3, same thing, decided where my panels wanted to be, what size and shape they were, wrote out what I wanted in each panel, did a rough sketch, my friend did a rough sketch, and then she inked it out. 4, same thing. Picked my panels, wrote what I wanted in them. I did a rough sketch. My friend did her sketch. And then she inked it out. And then 5th page, whole page, what I wanted in it, my rough sketch, her idea, and then she inked it out. And then the final page, thanks for reading, and then her thanks for reading. So I didn't make a title page yet, I just did the panels. But this is what it looks like when I was done. This is page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. And thanks for reading. I hope this will help you guys to create a great graphic novel. And I hope that you guys look forward to it. Have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.